All right. So one final team we want to talk about is Cincinnati. Obviously, 13-1 a year ago, 8-0 in conference, made the playoff. Luke Fickell entering his sixth season, and it wasn't just that they snuck by a good schedule and made it to the playoff. Like the advanced numbers actually had them as a really good team. F plus had them as the number 5 team in the country, the number 18 offense, and number 9 defense. There's not a lot of teams in the country that have legit top 20 team units on both sides of the ball, and that was a reality for Cincinnati a year ago. SP Plus projects them as 11 in the country this year, and that's after losing a ton of players. Number 18 on offense, number 19 on defense. They're still supposed to be top 20 on both sides of the ball. They actually set the Group of 5 record with 9 NFL draftees, which is crazy. Like, think about it. A Group of 5 team had 9 players drafted,
right?
And they're still supposed to be a top 20 team. Their quarterback will be former 4-star Evan Prater, I believe was the highest ranked recruit in program history. He's been sitting behind Desmond Ridder for a while, finally gets his shot. There's also a possibility that Ben Bryant will be the guy, but most people think it's going to be Evan Prater. The running back, obviously they lose Jerome Ford, the Alabama transfer, and they bring in an LSU transfer to replace him. That is Corey Kiner. So, like, in a weird way, like, I know there's the strength of their offense was probably those 2 guys plus the receiver Alec Pierce a year ago. But, like, they might not be any worse, really, like, at quarterback and running back, or not significantly worse. Like, they'll probably be a little worse, but I don't know that you're going to see a huge drop-off.
So not a whole lot of respect for Desmond Ridder is what I'm hearing from you. Right? That guy balled. I'm just saying, that guy was a ball player last year, a playmaker. You got to at least call him a playmaker, right? That was a team, like, he's with the Falcons now, and, like, he could win that starting job. You can't tell me that you just lost a possible NFL starter and you're thinking that, like, we got another one there. You know,
it's possible that it's possible that Evan Prater is that guy too. I mean, he was a highly ranked player coming out of high school.
Fair enough.
And yeah, Ridder was good, but Cincinnati was not winning purely because of him. Like, they had studs everywhere.
No,
they had studs everywhere.
Yeah,
they still have good receivers even after losing Alec Pierce. Their tight end, Josh Wiley, he could have been the 10th draftee. He decided to come back. Their entire offensive line returns. Looking at their defense, lost a bunch of players. Obviously, the 2 corners were they probably the top corner tandem in the country. But there's some others, some of the names to keep an eye on. They also lost some other players that most of us know. But here are the names to look forward for in the future. Juwan Briggs, their nose tackle. Malik Vann, their defensive end. Jaheim Thomas is a linebacker they love. And then hearing things about true freshman cornerback J.Q. Hardaway. They're already talking about him being the next stud corner there. So yeah, like
after Sauce,
after Sauce, those guys will probably be the next stars. They did lose a lot. Like, it's still like they did lose a lot, and it's not like they're Georgia where you have all these 5 stars waiting, but it does feel like they have AAC 5 stars waiting. Like, if that's fair. Yeah, the line here is 9, and they open at Arkansas, which feels like a pretty big deal. What are you expecting from the Cincinnati team?
The Super Bowl is week 1.
Yeah.
That's the toughest game on their schedule. That you're going to Arkansas, that's going to be nationally televised. Everyone will be watching that. Yeah, that's going to be a gut check. We'll find out so much from that game, and that'll as to how the whole rest of their year goes. I think I still think that they can beat I think that they will win a really, really good conference. Like, I'm projecting them to win this conference. I think there's a lot of solid teams in there, and you have to it's deep. I think there's a lot of depth in that in the AAC. So yeah, I think they'll win. I don't know if they'll beat Arkansas. I'm not willing to go that far yet. That's tricky. It really is. The Arkansas game is so tough. I don't think people really know even how to bet that game. So
don't bet, just watch it and enjoy it.
That's right. All you gotta do. So I have a wedding right over that time. I don't want to talk about it.
Yes.
More on that. Oh, sorry, no distractions. We'll more on that next one. I promise. I'll get to that sometime. What a terrible time to have their wedding. Doesn't matter. Okay. What do you have as the season? What do you have as their number from for Cincinnati?
I have 9 wins as their number, and even 9. The same as Houston's.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to be going over. I have a fairly confident over. I think 10-2. I think you can lose to Arkansas and you can still drop another one in conference. I don't even know if they drop one in conference. I think Cincinnati. I really believe in what Fickle is doing there. I think he could have left if he wanted to. I mean, we know he could have left if he wanted to. And for him to stay, he knows that there's something special still there. And this is coming off a playoff berth. So I'm a fan of his and what's going on there. I think they have a really good culture. I think they'll have another really good year with a lot of wins.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm with you on the over. I expect an AAC title game rematch with Houston for a New Year's Six Bowl this year instead of a playoff berth. No shame in that. I think these are 2 really good teams. Wouldn't be shocked at all if Cincinnati came really close to running the table or even ran the table again. Like, I wouldn't be shocked. This is a really good team. They recruit well. It's only getting better since they agreed to join the Big 12. And I do think that they might end up being – there's a chance they end up being the class of the new Big 12, whatever that looks like. Just because, like, all those things you just said. Luke Fickell, holding on to him this year when the Notre Dame job opened up was a big deal for Cincinnati. Because he is probably, like, I think most people would say he's a legitimate top 10 coach in the country. I don't know how many people would even disagree with that. And the only places you're ever going to lose him to are probably Ohio State, Notre Dame, or maybe Penn State. And I guess hold your breath a little bit, like maybe James Franklin gets the boot in a year from now. But yeah, they have a really good thing going on at Cincinnati, and I wouldn't be shocked to see Fickell there long term, and just he could win a lot of Big 12 titles in the future.
Agreed.
Okay,
agreed. So you're over on them?
I am. Yes, we agree on Cincinnati.
Right on.